What's going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome back to another post-commentary duel video. So this is the final match I ended up recording from testing the other day. This is the last one that we ended up recording before we all left. I think it was almost like 10 o'clock at night at this point, so it was getting pretty late. Long after our card shop is closed. Luckily, we can hang out in the back after hours to play test, but this match was extremely long. Especially this game one was just a huge grind game. I think the entire match, unedited, not sped up, was about 54 minutes. And I was debating on whether or not just not doing commentary over this whole thing and just kind of leaving one long match. Just because it'd be very long to do commentary over. And one thing I wanted to ask you guys is that if you wanted to see certain matches without commentary, because I do sometimes enjoy watching matches without commentary. I know some people do as well. Some people like the commentary. And I don't know like what matches, like if I have a feature match, I'll probably just keep the audio in or just put music to it without commentary and maybe not speed it up as much, because I know a lot of people don't always like it being sped up that fast. Just whether it's preference or not, let me know if you guys want to see something like that in the future. Perhaps the feature matches won't have commentary, or they will have commentary, and then regular matches won't. I don't know. I just kind of want to try and mix things up a little bit. Not saying I don't want to do commentary anymore. I really love doing commentary for you guys, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy it as well. But I'm saying if you guys want to see change anywhere or have any suggestions, that'd be greatly appreciated. Always open to those things. And for Dueling Network as well, if I ever end up having any Dueling Network videos, or I guess I could start doing Dev Pro now that I'm on Windows again, maybe those won't have commentary, but who knows. That's enough rambling for now. Let's start talking about what's going on in the field right now. We have Aether being tribute summoned with that return on field, so we'll be able to get a Search of Erebus, sending Domain and Prime Monarch to the graveyard for the special summon of Aether, and I'll be adding Erebus to the hand and using Blue Layer's effect to shuffle himself back into the deck. Figured I might as well do that now, right away. Not wait till I get a blue layer or red layer in there as well, because it's going to be way later on before that happens. And I'm only playing one E-Telly, and I think I really want to bump up to 2 E-Telly, because every game where I open E-Telly and I can go grab blue layer, it's just a much better game. I don't know if I should bump up to 2 blue layer at that point. I think that's something you guys could probably help me with. If you're going to play 1 blue layer, because right now I'm playing 1 blue layer, 2 red layers with a 1 E-Telly, and I'm really liking it, but I think I want to see E-Telly more, so I might bump it up to 2 and max out on E-Tellys for now. I don't know. That's just one thing I was thinking about doing. We'll see Escalation here on the summon of Tin Can, and I'm going to tribute away the Aether for that 1 tribute, since this is a tribute summon monster. Erebus will get Breakthrough skilled. Kind of played into that. My bad, I guess. I wanted to spin away that Tin Can before I could do anything with it, but I forgot the Breakthrough skill was there. So we will resolve that end phase effect, and we'll be able to reveal 3 ships. I was really trying to force out the tag out effect for the Erebus. That was the whole reasoning behind that play. Figured if I can just get him to tag out into some other non-threatening ship, non-threatening card, instead of him having to gain advantage like that in the end phase, it'd be much better than having to do what he just did there and giving him a Dark Destroyer. We'll tag out in the end phase, and he's going to pop the Erebus, and then he'll Kozmo away Prime Monarch and get a summon off Dark Destroyer now. Can go pretty much anything level 9 or lower. Can grab another Tin Can again if he wanted to. I'm not really too sure what he grabs at this point. Yep, it's another Tin Can. Double Tin Can in the end phase. It's definitely not the first time that's happened. It's definitely happened plenty of times in the past. Double Tin Can. Definitely not anything new. And we'll see that Tin Can attempt to tag out here in the end phase for another ship. Perhaps not. Whether he's going to leave it there. Looks like he will leave it there in hopes to get a disruption during my turn. So I'm just going to tribute away Prime for Karaz, activating Return of the Monarchs and Chainlink 2 and Karaz and Chainlink 1. It's very important to do it that way because Karaz can miss timing very easily if it's not the last thing in the chain, as far as I'm concerned. So like if there's something else activating, Karaz will miss timing and you won't be able to use his effect and get the draws off. I figured I'd do this, get some extra draws, because I do have the Zolkin play available right now, and I know he doesn't have any Dart Destroyers in hand. They're all in grave and one's banished, so I don't have to worry about him summoning out a Dart Destroyer and you know, stopping this play. So I go for Karaz to get advantage. Instant fusion out Panzer Dragon, then we'll see the quick draw Synchron come down here. Definitely going to be helpful for the Zolkin play. I'll tag out the Tin Can for a Forerunner, not anything really threatening. It's really like when they go for Forerunner instead of Dart Destroyer. And I was debating here on whether or not to summon out Michael or start a Spark, because I don't own Crystal Wing yet. Obviously, Crystal Wing would have been the better choice, so I had to work with what I had. And yeah, one thing I want to mention that happened earlier, just a few moments ago, is that Foolish Burial sending Eidos idea from deck to grave to add back that tenacity. Definitely a really clutch play. I really love Foolish Burial in the deck so much. It's just such a great card. See, with Zolkin, with Stardust Spark, is a pretty much guaranteed you're keeping that Zolkin on board. Because while you control a single monster, Zolkin cannot be targeted by card effects or attacks, and cannot be destroyed by card effects as well, or by battle. And of course, if they can't get rid of Stardust Spark's effect, or get rid of Stardust Sparks by his own effect, you know, they're really not going to get rid of Zolkin. So definitely be able to get that effect off, guaranteed. And we're going to reveal Aether here using Escalation. I actually don't even need to use Escalation with Aether, but I did have Stormforth, so that did help be able to get rid of Sword Troopers being one of the bigger threats. And I used Karaz, summon that out to thin the deck a little bit of Karaz. I don't really want to see that card too much. It's a really nice card to summon out of Aether during the opponent's turn, especially if it's just a disruption play with Stormforth. It's a nice combo. You can special summon that out, pop that, and if a return on field, so you can go into the extra deck if you need to. Just get a free draw, so you get to draw a card, you deck then a Karaz. Definitely a really nice combo. And then we'll see him crash into Aether. I did use Stardust Spark's effect on Aether, so Forerunner will destroy itself. He'll go for a Sword Trooper will special Sword Trooper, and then the other Sword Trooper will special Dark Lady, hoping that some negation will help him there. Not going to help him too much. He could make a rank 3. I think that's what he's looking for right now, is a rank 3 to go into. He could go into Break Sword, Dante, if you wanted to. Definitely options, but paying 2,000 life points just to get that Dark Lady on field. Pay 1,000 life points again to activate Dark Lady's effect on my turn if you wanted to. So now Dark Lady is going to prohibit me just doing another free Zolkin play, which is, I just love Zolkin so much. Just anytime you can set a card, you can just special out one of the most powerful, you can select from a pool of some of the most powerful synchro monsters in the game just for free, just by setting a card. That's why I really love that play. And anytime I can go for the Zolkin play, I usually end up going for it. And right here, I think the next Zolkin summon I go for is Michael, to be able to banish Kozmo Town. See him chain out Sword Trooper. Sword Trooper's going to summon out Dart Destroyer, and he'll pop Stardust Spark. Now Zolkin is vulnerable at this point, but he has already, I believe, done most of his battle phase shenanigans, so I don't have to worry about him getting rid of that, unless he can get another Dart Destroyer to his hand. I'll activate another Kozmo Town, adding back, I think, a Sword Trooper or something like that from banishment back to his hand. Then we'll see a Prime come out, banishing Domain, giving me extra tribute fodder. And I think I'm going to set Return just to get that effect of Zolkin, because I'm definitely going to need it. Go for Zaborg, tributing away Prime, and summoning out Zaborg just to basically force out the negation of Dark Lady. So that's why I really like Zaborg. It's a nice board clear. It's just good for stuff like that, to bait out that Dark Lady right there. So I needed to bait out the negation, so I had to use Zaborg to do that, and it helped a lot. Summon out Michael, pay 1,000 to banish Kozmo Town, stop getting those effects off, and then during battle phase, we'll attack into Sword Troopers. They'll chain out on attack declaration for Forerunner, and I'll redeclare on Dark Lady, and you won't have anything to chain out there. End phase, I'll mill 3, Prime, Pantheism, and I think Eidos. And during my end phase, I'll summon out or actually during his standby phase, I think I end up summoning out Prime just to get some extra board presence. And here I'm going to use Escalation to tribute away Aether, get that Erebus on field, remove Dart Destroyer from the field. Thankfully, Erebus does not target, so being one of the best cards for the Kozmo matchup is getting Erebus on field. And now he's going to use Forerunner to attack over Michael for, I think, maybe 200 points of damage. I think Michael's got 2,600. And I also have an Igniser in extra deck at this point, too. I mean, it's not very helpful in this matchup, but I could still summon it out if I wanted to. Call the Haunted is going to bring back Dart Destroyer, popping that, what was it, Prime Monarch, which I was really hoping to go into a rank 5 there. I was really looking forward to going to a rank 5. But he's going to stop that anyways with the Call the Haunted and the Dart Destroyer. And right now I'm looking through the extra deck. I want to go into some various rank 5s I can choose from. Not really sure, though, at this point, what I want to go into. And right now he's basically, I think we're debating on what my set card is right now. Not really too sure what the set card is. And it is a return, because I'm pretty much at this point, I think I'm very, very low on cards in my main deck. This is what I was saying earlier. This is very grindy. Game 1, I think I end the game at 3. The game ends with me with 3 cards in deck. I'll top deck a Farm Girl after I pass over to him. He'll run over Erebus for 200, completely clearing the field. I'll use Farm Girl to tag out, because I don't think he has any leftover ships in deck to basically grab anything good to grab with Farm Girl, so he's just going to tag it out for the Slip Rider. Searching through the graveyard to basically find out what is that set card. Is it worth popping Escalation? Is it worth popping the set card? Because he's basically checking through the graves. If I have 3 Storm 4s, 2 Domain, the basic rundown of the Monarch spell traps. So I'll pop Escalation and leave the set card. Here we'll summon out Red Layer coming in clutch. What a top deck, right? And we're going to overlay that with Prime for Volcasaurus, burning for 2,300. And Gaia Charger will come out and pierce for 2,600 on that tin can. Nothing left to chain into. Gaia Charger coming in clutch again. The Volcasaurus Gaia Charger play being very, very good, helping gain advantage. And that Red Layer would have came in so helpful if I would have left that Blue Layer in my deck at the very beginning of the game. I wasn't really thinking about the Red Layer combo, but I guess it really didn't matter too much, especially having Prime Engrave. It really helped out. Mithra, the one of Mithra that I was playing at this point, coming in very handy. And I'm just going to end up passing turn there with the field that I have. He draws into Kozmo Town. The game, I think, is pretty much over for me at this point. Just Mithra and Prime Monarch on the field. Not doing a whole lot. He can grab anything he wants out of his banishment. That token I gave him, he can grab a Slip Rider to tribute away that token if he wanted to normal summon the Slip Rider. He's going to grab Sword Troopers, it looks like, for 300. He'll pay 1,000 again for the Dark Lady. Swinging in with all those extra monsters. Thank you for Prime Monarch. Thank you so much for saving me there. And now I have another rank 5 play. Leaving that Sword Trooper in attack mode. Pretty much loses him the game because of how little life points he has. So we swing over the Sword Trooper for 1,400 points of damage for game. Last few cards in deck were Blue Layer, Idea, and not anything really too else important. Game 2. Gonna opt to go first. Kozmo player gonna have to go first. Using a lure, going for Strawman. Summoning out Dart Destroyer. Dart Destroyer getting destroyed by Strawman's effect. Dart Destroyer summoning out Tin Can. Going for that first turn Strawman Tin Can play. Very strong play. And Dark Eclipser will get added to his hand with a Dart Destroyer and Slip Rider in graveyard. I'm going to start things off with a Tenacity, going to grab Stormforth. Definitely want to get that Tin Can off the field as soon as possible. Get those pilots off the field. On the summon of Red Layer, he's going to summon out Landwalker and Dark Lady. Going to go very aggressive right off the bat in the summon of that first monster. Stormforth, giving you such a huge advantage in this matchup. I tribute away the Dark Lady, obviously being the better choice to tribute away, and then we use Erebus's effect to spin away the Landwalker. Such a good combo, such a good move against Kozmo is this Erebus and Stormforth. Really good weapons in your arsenal against that deck to really help you win the advantage. And I think as I'm recording this, I'm going to like a 40-person local tonight, and I think I'm probably going to take Monarchs. I'm going to let my brother play Atlanteans because he can't play those proxies at that locals, just because it's a little bit different, not as laid back as my locals that I usually go to. But I think I'm going to take Monarchs to that, and depending on how well it does, I'll probably get a deck profile up for you guys. If you want to see a deck profile for my Xyz Monarchs, or extra deck Monarchs, whatever you want to call them, I will get a profile up to you after that to see how it plays, if I want to make any last minute changes afterwards or beforehand, so I can get you guys a solid profile, not this build that I've been testing with for a few days. And you'll see that we do have ending our first turn field with Erebus and Durendal. One thing I did not know that I was pointed out to is that if you have Durendal on field and they chain out, they go to tag out, let's say it's a Farm Girl, a Sword Trooper, a Strawman, what have you, if they go to tag out, for that effect, you can chain Durendal to shuffle both hands back. If they don't draw in big ships, it's pretty much a big waste of time for them. I didn't know that was something you could do. Maybe some of you guys didn't know that either. That'll help you out in your next matchup against Kozmo. I thought that was pretty cool. But the thing that happened there is that on the paying of 1,000 life points for Sword Trooper, I activated Durendal, not wanting him to summon something out. So I went to negate it, and then he just changed the tag out effect. I'm going to tribute away the Durendal for Aether, and I'm going to use Aether's effect to send, looks like Pantheism and Prime for another Aether, revealing 2 Domain and a Stormforth. It's going to let me grab Domain, and Domain is going to basically help me beat over the Dark Eclipser, and with the little advantage he has at that point, he's just going to scoop up right there, and I will take the match 2-0. Xyz Monarchs over Kozmo, maybe as expected, maybe not. Hope you guys enjoyed the footage and the commentary. If you did, please leave a like and let me know your thoughts, any tips, advice, criticisms in the comments, like I said earlier, on the things about commentary. If you guys want to see just full-length duels with just music in the background, maybe sped up a little bit if they're really long. Maybe we'll do full-length matches. Maybe that'll be a new thing, full-length feature match or whatever. No commentary, uncut, except for, game 1 and 2, cutting between those and stuff. Cutting out siding, maybe, and the time it takes for that. Maybe just full-length matches. If you guys want to see those, let me know, as well as any advice for playing Monarchs. If you guys want to see a deck profile, all that stuff we talked about. Hope you guys enjoyed, like I said. If you did, leave a like. As always, Winter Killer signing out. We'll see you in the next one.
We've been out here, and these nights are getting shorter. Like a energy I'll conquer. In my soul, this is real.